In the world of digital design, quality is measured by the details that most people never notice. A perfectly aligned line of text, balanced spacing between letters, consistent typography, smooth edges, and natural visual harmony all work together to create a professional appearance. When these elements are handled with precision, the final result looks effortless. That is the foundation of our professional Photoshop document editing service. Professional editing is not simply about changing visual elements. It is about preserving the character of the original design while maintaining consistency from beginning to end. Every document has its own style, structure, and visual identity. Our responsibility is to understand that identity before making any adjustments. Every project begins with careful observation. Before opening the editing tools, we spend time studying the document itself. We examine the typography, layout, spacing, alignment, color balance, line height, margins, textures, and overall composition. This process allows us to understand how every design element interacts with the others. One of the most important aspects of professional Photoshop document editing is precision. Small inconsistencies that might seem insignificant at first can become noticeable when viewed as part of the complete design. A single letter placed slightly out of alignment, uneven spacing between words, or an incorrect font weight can affect the overall visual balance. That is why every adjustment is made carefully and reviewed multiple times. Typography is another area where attention to detail makes a remarkable difference. Every typeface has its own personality, proportions, and rhythm. Matching these characteristics requires more than selecting a similar font. We carefully analyze the structure of every character, comparing curves, straight lines, spacing, stroke thickness, proportions, and visual balance, until the typography blends naturally with the existing design. Sometimes achieving a seamless appearance requires microscopic adjustments. Letter spacing, word spacing, baseline alignment, line spacing, and positioning are refined repeatedly until every line appears balanced. These refinements are almost invisible individually, yet together they create a polished and professional result. Professional editing also requires preserving the visual quality of the original document. Colors must remain consistent, shadows must appear natural, gradients should transition smoothly, background textures need to remain uninterrupted. Every surrounding element must continue to look exactly as intended so that the edited areas blend naturally with the rest of the design. Another essential part of our workflow is consistency. Every page, every section, and every design element is examined carefully to ensure that the overall appearance remains uniform. Consistency creates professionalism, and professionalism creates confidence. Our editing process is built around patience rather than speed. Instead of rushing through a project, we work methodically, examining every section with careful attention. We zoom in to inspect the smallest details and zoom out again to evaluate the overall balance of the design. This approach allows us to identify subtle imperfections that might otherwise go unnoticed. Experience has taught us that exceptional results come from careful observation rather than shortcuts. Every project is approached with the same dedication, regardless of its size or complexity. Whether the design contains simple typography or highly detailed layouts, every element receives the same level of attention. Professional Photoshop document editing also involves maintaining visual harmony. Every element should feel connected to the rest of the design. Proper alignment, balanced spacing, consistent proportions, and clean composition all contribute to an appearance that feels natural and refined. Quality control is an essential part of every project. Before delivery, we perform multiple reviews to verify that the typography remains consistent, spacing is balanced, alignment is accurate, colors are uniform, and every visual element integrates smoothly into the overall design. Only after completing these reviews is the project considered ready. Modern digital design demands precision because audiences naturally notice quality, even when they cannot explain why one design feels more professional than another. That difference often comes from careful craftsmanship and attention to detail, rather than dramatic visual changes. Our goal is always the same: to produce work that looks clean, balanced, refined, and visually consistent. Every adjustment is made with respect for the original design, while maintaining the highest standards of quality. Professional editing is ultimately about craftsmanship. It combines technical knowledge, patience, observation, and experience into a workflow focused entirely on excellence. Every project represents an opportunity to create results that appear natural, polished, and professionally finished. If you are looking for a professional Photoshop document editing service that values precision, consistency, careful craftsmanship, and exceptional attention to detail, we would be delighted to assist you. Our commitment is to deliver high-quality Photoshop editing that preserves the visual integrity of every design while maintaining a clean and professional appearance. Thank you for taking the time to listen. If you need professional Photoshop document editing services completed with precision and care, we're ready to help.